Yo, what's going on YouTube? Zorbic here. And today we're going to be going over the best Titan builds to be using in the Crucible right now. So first and foremost, this is all preference, stuff that I like, that has shown me great success in trials, anything pretty much. It's pretty much just the best builds in the game right now for Titan. So first, let's go over the subclasses that you can be using here. With most builds, it's going to be using the Striker Titan. Striker Titan's insanely strong right now, using the Thunder Crash super. Fist of Havoc is pretty underwhelming right now, so you want to be using Thunder Crash. And then first, you're going to be using the Towering Barricade. Towering Barricade's the best. Titans need barricades, which you'll be seeing later in the build when I go over my exact mods that I run. A lot of it is all for your barricade. Barricades are very strong right now. You can use thrusters with some different builds that I'll be showing here, but I would mostly say barricades are the best. And then next is the jump ability, your movement ability. I use Catapult because you can scroll wheel skate on PC, go very fast, but if you're on console, I suggest using Strafe Lift as it's the best for a controller input. We're going to be going over the melee ability, and I will always say to use the shoulder charge because the movement you get from it is way more beneficial for PvP than using, let's say, Thunderclap, which is very situational, and then Ballistic Slam, which is also very situational, but you can get some good use out of that. So Ballistic Slam is not terrible, but just shoulder charge just has so much movement and can get you out of so many tight spots that you wouldn't be able to. Next, we're going to be going over the Lightning Grenade. And the reason you want to use Lightning Grenade is that when you hit a target with it, they get jolted. And you also get two of these per spawn in on trials. So you start off the first round using lightning nades. Other grenades that are pretty decent are storm grenades. And all of this is paired with Touch of Thunder. We're going to in a second. Storm grenades, lightning grenades, pulse grenades are not terrible. But I suggest just using lightning grenades or storm grenades. Mostly lightning grenades. Knockout for the aspect. This is just the best thing in the game. It pretty much makes you have the melee of an Ophidian's warlock. And then your melee will also be doing half their health while you're teleporting around. So make sure you are using knockout. Touch of Thunder right now is very good. Gives you really good pulse grenades. It pretty much just buffs all your grenades. You want to be using that. If not, you could use Juggernaut. It's very situational again with some builds that you use. I just use these two for all of my builds. Next, we're going to get into the fragments here. And I suggest 100% of the time using feedback. Gives you the ability of winning most of your melee fights or one-hitting most people in the game with your melee if you get meleeed first. So feedback is a must-have no matter what, and it gives you 10 resilience, which goes back into making your builds better, getting more barricades. So that's a must-have. The Spark of Recharge. The Spark of Recharge gives you melee grenade energy when you're weak, which is very good for Titans because they have this barricade. You can get one shot, proc Spark of Recharge, proc a barricade, and you'll be behind a barricade getting more grenade energy and melee. So that can help very much. All right, now on to Spark of Magnitude, where you're lingering arc nades, lightning grenades. This is mostly for that, and storm grenades. If you use either of those, they make them last double the time. Like it's a huge difference. I suggest running these three like all the time. And then the Spark of Volts, I just literally use it only for my builds, only to get the max recovery so I can siphon like everything else out evenly. That's about it. You can change around like most, at least this last one, for most anything, but I like these three 100%, and then this one can be siphoned out for something different. All right, now for the other subclass that you'd be using on Titan, which is Bubble. I think Bubble's pretty decent with the kit that it comes with, but I think it's only good for zone trials. So with zone trials, you'll be running this build, and it's very good. You want to be running Bastion as your aspect. controlled demolition as your other one. We'll get into that in a second for the reasons why. Again, tiring barricade, they're just very, very strong. Catapult or strafe lift. Another shoulder charge. This shield is terrible. Please, please never use this. Only use shoulder charge. That is just, it's so bad. Now with your grenades, you could practically go with any single grenade here and it will be good. All of these grenades are good. All of them do their own job efficiently. But for me, since I run Bastion, which gives you the overshield, and then running Controlled Demolition, where when you hit a target with, let's say, your grenade ability or your shoulder charge, they get very volatile. And this is the whole reason I run Controlled Demolition and Void Nades, is you can kill a whole team of 3 just with one Void Nade placed at the right spot. You could also do the same with Void Wall, or obviously any nade, but spike nades do the most damage and are the hardest to hit. So I suggest using spike nades with Controlled Demolition. Now the fragments here, these are very situational for half of them, but I would 100% of the time recommend using Echo of Legion. This is a must-have. It's when you get a melee kill, your health starts to regen. So you get a melee running with the Titan, get a melee kill, your health is regenning. It also gives you 10 resilience, which makes my builds better. And Echo of Remnants is pretty much just buffing your spike nade, making it last longer, more damage, more getting people volatile, stuff like that. It's pretty good. And then this is the most situational one, which you do not have to use. You could honestly switch it out for Echo of Expulsion, but defeating a target while your shields are depleted gives you an overshield. It's very situational. It's helped me more than I can count, but you don't need it. You could be running this, where you could run it with a shoulder charge, kill one guy, and then they explode, killing other people. Very, very good. All right, now on to the builds / weapons to be using. My Peacekeepers build. Peacekeepers obviously go with this. So this is the first one. It is my Cloud Strike or Telescope build. You use the Immortal. You use some sort of a Sniper, Arc subclass, and onto the mods. On the mods, you're going to be wanting a, you want to get to 10 resilience, 10 recovery, and as much intellect as you can for almost all of these builds, as you want that stat split. We're going to be going with resilience mod, and then this is for my Arc subclass, which buffs my Cloud Strike's aim assist, and then just some more for the SMG. And with the arms, the same thing. Pretty much Arc dexterity, which is the one thing that I could change out, and I could put like a grenade kickstart because of Cloud Strike's high handling, but it's just what I have. And SMG reloader, and then unflinching for Arc, very much needed. And then Arc holster. This is the thing that not a lot of people realize yet. When you put on 3 Arc holsters, it makes your Arc gun reload instantly from the reserves. So you want to be running as many holsters as you can per the element of special weapon you're going to be running. And then with the class item, I run utility kickstart for the sole purpose of getting more barricades. Double bomber, because of my build running 3 discipline, running double bomber helps out on that cooldown, and I'm able to get my grenades more without having to invest less intellect and more discipline. And that's the Peacekeepers build. Next build that I use most of the time other than Peacekeepers is my Antaeus build. And this Antaeus build is pretty much the exact same as my Peacekeepers build, but just different boots. Usually when you're running this build, people use Juggernaut. I don't. I don't enjoy it. I like my barricade. But you're going to want to be running a shotgun with it and an SMG. You could always like change this out with a pulse rifle, but the Immortal is just so good right now. You want to use that. Duality is my choice of shotgun. I love slug shotguns, and this one can also not be a slug at the same time. It's very, 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 very strong. For the build, it's the exact same thing, but matching the element. Everything is the same, except the element for most of it is different. Shotgun holster, again, solar holster. So I'd reload my shotgun without having to actually pull it out, and I could just use the SMG. It is all the exact same. Onto the Dunes build. This is my Dunes build. It is mostly used for 6v6s. I don't use Dunes in trials. I use them just in 6v6 or comp when I'm trying to just play very, very fast. I think Dunes are very strong still, but they're not very good against most teams. But another straightforward, the exact same thing, but solar. Pretty much all it is. Double utility kickstart. Duality, same difference. All right, and that's it for the builds, the strongest builds in the game right now. You know, these might be subject to change as seasons go on, but right now, these 3 builds that I just showed you are all the strongest ones in the game. And, you know, I hope you guys find success with it. Yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.